Saved from the fire. Sounds very dramatic, but in reality, this stuff probably wouldn't have got burned. But you never know. A lot does. So I went into OJ's Coins. It was sometime last week. I'm not sure of the day because I'm in there just about every other day. While I was in there checking the case, you could see that somebody had come in and dumped a huge lot of vintage silver. I'm thinking it was probably 150 ounces. Could have been more, I'm not sure, but I did pick out the ones that I liked the best, and let's take a look at what I got. Now, this is definitely going to be one of my longer videos, so if you can't hang in there, I'm going to pop out probably about 19 different shorts, actually 18. Reason it's 18 is because I got two of these bars, and no point in showing you both of them. These are Southeast refining bars. They're pretty common. I've got several of them actually in my stack. Doesn't matter how many I've got. I never pass these things up. I love these bars. They're gorgeous. Put it in a capsule, save it. Bar number 2, the odd part about that one is it had no serial number. If that's a thing, somebody please let me know. Next up, I found this United States Silver Corporation. It's a Boston Tea Party bar. Anniversary, 200th anniversary, Boston Tea Party. Dates back to 1975. Made by, like I said, United States Silver Corporation. They ended up going bankrupt eventually. Learned that from Coin Sense and Nonsense. Everybody check his channel out. I'll drop a link in the description for his channel. He's big into the vintage bars and rounds, so definitely check him out. All right, pop this baby in a capsule too, and then we moved on to the next. Next up, we have this Mount St. Helens bar. It's kind of a cool bar. It was made by Golden State Mint. Golden State Mint is pretty local to me. I order from them quite often. But as you can see, they've also been around for quite a good many years, right? They're one of the original gangsters of the silver bar and round game. So as you can see, my knowledge on this stuff is pretty limited. That's why you got to check out Silverstruck, World Money Wins, Coin Sense and Nonsense. Mark Samuelson is a great resource. However, he doesn't have content. Pretty sure his contact info is in his channel description, and I'm sure he wouldn't mind if you hit him up with an email and asked him a few questions. All right, next up is the Patrick Mint Biplane Jenny bar. All the information that I was able to find said this bar was manufactured in 1973, which a lot of your vintage silver dates back to 1973. I'm not quite sure why that is, what the deal was with that particular date, but it's very prevalent. See what I was saying about my knowledge of these types of pieces? But honestly, I just like the way they look. I love vintage silver. LBS, thank you so much for getting me turned on to this stuff. Put this baby in a capsule, and as you can see, had to notch out the end of the capsule to get her to fit. All right, so next up is this Paradise Mint, right? Paradise Mint 1 ounce bar. It's got like a textured background, a textured finish. Paradise Mint was out of somewhere in Florida. I don't have it on the tip of my tongue, but they were definitely out of Florida. Not sure of the date on this one. Sorry if my information is limited, but like I said, I just go through these things and I just like the way they look. If I'm turned on by it or if I'm attracted to it, it goes in the capsule and it comes home. And truthfully, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. All right, next up, I got an honorable mention here. I got a Scottsdale bar. It's modern. I sped this up, but I just wanted to show it to you. That was one of the ones that I took out of there as well. All right, now getting to the rounds, we got this Liberty Mint USS Constitution round. This one here, from everything that I could find online about it, is likely from the mid-'80s. Please, guys, anybody, if you know anything about these and I got it wrong, don't hesitate. Please put it in the comments. Now, I found it a little bit weird that this one was from the mid-'80s because, as you'll see on the next one, which is a very similar round, let's just put this in a capsule and seal it up for good. All right. So the next one here is a 1974 version of that same ship, that same USS Constitution, pretty much the same. The exception being that this one is dated 1974. It's a little different on the reverse. This is from Constitution Mint, whereas, of course, the other one was from Liberty Mint. You see that a lot in vintage stuff like this, where it'll share one side with another round and be totally different on the other side. I don't know if they shared dies or they just ripped each other off. I don't know what the deal is with that, but you see it a lot. All right, this next one was one of my favorites out of the bunch. It's by Tentex Mint. Now, Tentex is how would you say that? It's a combination of Tennessee and Texas, according to everything that I could find online about it. The other information that I was able to glean was that Tentex was taken over by Sunshine Minting. So it was then moved to Idaho, which is Sunshine Minting's home base. But this particular piece was in really, really good condition. And it's very high relief, so it's pretty thick on the edge because it's like a dish kind of shape, and that globe sticks way out. All right, time to pop this baby in the old 39 ml capsule and move on to the next. All right, next up, California Crown Mint Liberty Bell round. Now this Liberty Bell again is high relief. It's a beautiful piece, gorgeous, gorgeous detail on this thing. It's got the familiar scales on the reverse side. This one is known as the International Silver Trade Unit. A lot of them are also known as silver trade units, but this one is one of my favorites out of the group here. As you can see, it's got a lot of luster left on it, and it's just in great shape. So let's pop it in the capsule and move on to the next. All right, next up, APM. APM was a mint out of California. They did a lot of these trade units. I have a theory, and I don't know if it's true, but I'm pretty sure that APM was folded into APMEX and became part of APMEX eventually. I couldn't confirm that, but it just seems like it made sense because they moved their headquarters to Dallas. APMEX is in Dallas. APM, and then APMEX merged with another company called Dallas Metals Exchange, APMEX, right? I could be totally wrong. I'm probably talking out my ass, but hey, you just never know, right? All right, next piece up is a Golden State Mint Prospector Round. I'm not sure of the dates on these. There is no indication on there. If somebody knows, please post it in the comments. Appreciate it. This reverse, though, was unique to the ones that I had. The ones that I already had were the wagon and the eagle. So this was something new. Hadn't seen this one before. And I figured, what the hell? Snap it up. I'm a huge fan of Golden State Mint, so I never pass up an opportunity to pick up some of their stuff. Let's bury this one in a capsule and throw it in the stack. Okay, next up, Empire Silver Trade Unit 1974. It's got a split globe design on the front, World Trade Unit across it. Has a little bit different kind of squatty looking scale with a globe in the middle of it. Across the bottom it says Empire Trade Unit. That's about all I have for you on this one. I could tell you that it's a high relief piece. It's in really good shape, and she's pretty thick. Off to capsule land she goes. Don't you love that sound? Okay, this next one coming up is probably my favorite. I know, I've been saying that a lot. This is a U.S. Silver Corp World Trade Unit in 1974, but I just love that beautiful split globe design on there. Very classy look to this one. I got another one of these in the stack somewhere, but you know what? There's no law that says you can't have two. So as soon as I saw this one, I knew it was coming home. Condition is pretty awesome. Price was right. For the record, I paid $34 an ounce across the board for everything that you see in this video, which at the time was about $1.50 over spot, and I'm totally fine with that. Next up is FCCB World Silver Trade Unit. Dated 1985 up on the top there. They got a double globe design. More high relief goodness. Look how thick that baby is. You got on the back, you got the scales measured in grains, grams, pure silver, World Trade Unit, everything you need to know. Now, I have no idea what FCCB stands for, so if you guys know, please put that in the comments. Each one of these is nicer than the next. I gotta be honest, I love them all. So glad that I was able to save these from the refinery, if that's in fact where they were headed. They definitely were going to the wholesaler, though, and who knows what happens from there. All right, next piece up is the Universaro, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, Silver Trade Unit 1974. Now, OJ had one of these in his case a couple of weeks back, and I believe it was 1972. But it was one of those pieces that somebody got a hold of and did fake toning on. Just really terrible. The thing was like purple and blue. It was just... I thought about buying it just to dip it and clean it up, but You know what? I'm glad I waited because I got this one instead. I'm pretty sure Vegas Stacker told me the one with the 5 heads on it is a little bit more valuable, but if anybody knows, let me know. All right, so then I picked up this Continental coin, U.S. Assay Office. This one's dated 1981, and I'm pretty sure that Kansas Kid was a big fan of these U.S. Assay Office pieces. I'm sure he's got a few of these. In fact, I'm pretty sure if he would have seen this, he might say, I'd buy that. Again, the condition, pretty much stellar on these. Got to get this in a capsule and protect it for life. So this next one is an International Universal Trade Unit 1974. So that date keeps coming back, right? 1974, 1973. Someone please fill us in on why that's very important, that date. I think it has something to do with when Nixon closed the gold window and it became legal to own silver again. I could swear that I had seen that in a Dub C video. Maybe you'll see this, Dub C, and weigh in on the comments for us. If so, thank you in advance. I appreciate that. All right, let's get that one in a capsule. There goes that sound again. All right, next up and last piece is going to be this Sunshine Minting Eagle Round. 1982 is the date on it. Pretty common piece. Bunch of these were made. Everybody's got one. I think I got about 4 or 5. Definitely a cool piece, though. Anytime I see one of these in the wild, I try and grab it. Sunshine Minting is another OG in the silver round business. Their new stuff, though, I'm not such a big fan because I don't like that little circle they have on the back of the pieces. Security can be, overrated. All right, here's a quick review. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, like, comment. So if you guys get bored on Saturday morning and Monday night, you can hang out with Vegas and Liberty and myself. Saturday morning showdown, Monday night medals. Don't forget, tune in. Don't miss it. Average Joe out.